Our cell phones are amazing tools. We use them to connect, to learn, and to share our lives. But there's a hidden danger that we often ignore: radiation. Just like the doctors, I'm deeply concerned about the impact of cell phone radiation on our health, especially on our children. Many of us are unaware of the potential risks. We hand over phones to toddlers for games and allow teenagers to sleep with them under their pillows. We need to understand the science and take action to protect ourselves and our families. This isn't about fear-mongering. It's about empowering parents with knowledge. This essay will guide you through the hidden dangers of cell phone radiation. We'll discuss the outdated guidelines, the science behind the risks, and most importantly, the practical steps you can take to safeguard your family's health. Knowledge is power. Let's equip ourselves with the information we need to make informed decisions about cell phone use. The rules governing cell phone safety are outdated. The Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, set safety standards over 2 decades ago. Back then, cell phones were clunky devices used mainly for calls. Today, our kids are growing up with smartphones in their hands. They use them constantly for games, social media, and watching videos. The amount of radiation exposure has skyrocketed. The FCC's old guidelines simply haven't kept up. These guidelines only consider the thermal effects of radiation, the heating of body tissue. They fail to address the non-thermal effects, which scientists are increasingly linking to serious health problems. Children are not small adults. Their bodies are still developing, making them far more susceptible to the harmful effects of cell phone radiation. Their skulls are thinner, allowing radiation to penetrate deeper into their brains. Their cells are dividing rapidly, increasing the chance of radiation-induced damage to their DNA. And because they have a longer lifespan ahead of them, children will accumulate far more exposure over time. We must acknowledge this increased vulnerability and take extra precautions to protect our children. The evidence is mounting. Thousands of studies point to the health risks associated with cell phone radiation. This isn't fringe science. Reputable institutions like the National Toxicology Program, or NTP, have found clear links between cell phone radiation and cancer in laboratory animals. Studies have shown that radiation can damage DNA, disrupt hormones, and increase the risk of brain tumors, particularly in children. While more research is needed, the existing evidence is strong enough to warrant serious concern and proactive measures. Section 5. The pocket threat. Keeping phones away from vital organs. Many children, especially teenagers, carry their phones in their pockets. This places the device in close proximity to vital organs. For girls, carrying phones in bras has been linked to an increased risk of breast cancer. For boys, keeping phones in pants pockets can damage sperm and impact future fertility. We must educate our children about the importance of keeping their phones away from these sensitive areas. Section 6. Simple steps to protect your family today. The good news is that there are simple, practical steps you can take right now to reduce your family's exposure to cell phone radiation. Encourage your children to use speakerphone or wired headphones whenever possible. This minimizes the amount of radiation directed at their heads. Activate airplane mode when the phone is not in use, especially at night. This stops the constant searching for signals that emits radiation even when you're not actively using the device. Section 7. Beyond heating, understanding non-thermal effects. As we've discussed, the FCC's outdated guidelines only address the thermal effects of radiation. But scientists are increasingly concerned about the non-thermal effects. These effects, which occur at lower levels of exposure, can damage DNA, disrupt cellular processes, and lead to oxidative stress. Oxidative stress has been linked to a wide range of health problems, including cancer, heart disease, and Alzheimer's disease. We need stricter regulations that take into account these non-thermal effects and provide better protection for the public. Section 8. Demanding better. Your voice matters. We can't wait for the government to catch up. We need to demand better protection for our children now. Support organizations that are fighting for stricter safety standards for cell phone radiation. Contact your elected officials and urge them to prioritize this issue. Talk to other parents, educators, and community leaders. The more awareness we raise, the greater the pressure for change. Our children's health is at stake. We cannot afford to be silent. Section 9. A call to action, safeguarding our children's future. Cell phones are now an integral part of our lives, but we can't ignore the potential risks they pose, especially to our children. By understanding the science, taking practical steps to reduce exposure, and advocating for stronger safety standards, we can create a safer environment for our families. Let's work together to ensure that our children can enjoy the benefits of technology without compromising their health. The time for action is now.